Welcome to the BestAgent Batcave. This is a rough, uncut video, and it's the first time I have fully explained how I hope BestAgent will lead to the end of bad estate agency. Now, I know that's a bold claim, but I have spent a very, very long time thinking this through and working it out. And hear me out, right? I've got 8 steps to go through, which not only means that the end of bad estate agency, which is obviously good for all home movers, but also a much better deal and career and working life and quality of life for the honest agents who have so far been overlooked and punished for being honest by sellers who don't know any better. So I've got 8 steps to go through here. You might want to get a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or a beer or a cup of tea or some biscuits or anything. But just make yourself comfortable because this might take half an hour or so. So moving home is too important to people for it to be done badly. It's one of the most important stages in anyone's life. And a successful move can accelerate your life prospects, and an unsuccessful or failed move can set you back in life. And this is why helping people move home is so much more important than even most estate agents realise. And the few of you who get why it's so important are the ones who do it well, because you understand that it deserves and demands to be done properly, just out of decency from one human being to another who needs to move house, right? So here we go. No amount of improvement by willing agents is going to solve the problem of bad estate agency. Because let's just say the top half of agents all want to improve, but the bottom half don't. And let's just say the top half do actually improve. The bottom half are still doing it badly and are still the ones that are going to be noticed and talked about and written about in the press. Okay? So no matter how much you might improve your business as a great agent, that's not going to solve the problem of the industry as a whole being full of really bad estate agency. Okay? Because too many agents just don't care. They don't care. As long as they make their fee, they'll say whatever they've got to say and do whatever they've got to do to get a deal over the line. And they just don't care. There are too many people like that in this industry and in other industries too. But in this industry, it sets people's life chances back when they encounter an agent who just doesn't care about their customers. So what I'm hoping that the agents who support me and the BestAgent project will start to realise is that if this works, or when this works, it will lead to a much improved future for honest agents with fairer fees, a better reputation, more life and less work in your balance, and getting the business that you deserve because you are an honest, ethically minded agent. Rather than what happens at the moment, which is the ones who lie the best get the most business. And I'm not making this up. I mean, the numbers are there to back this up, which I'll go into a bit later. So there's another reason why I'm doing this now, which is that actually in this market downturn, here we are in autumn 2023, and the market has been turning down for about a year and has got much worse to go. And right now, it's the worst most agents have ever known it. Now is the opportunity. Right now is the chance to get rid of those agents who are only really able to make a deal happen in a good market and who lie to do so. Right now is the time to vanquish the dishonest, disreputable, bad actors in estate agency who don't care about customers and just care about a fee and don't care what they have to do to get it. Now is the time. There's a real opportunity right now to get rid of those guys. And the reason is this. Those agents don't know how to hold a deal together in a difficult market. Okay? So they're more likely to fail and suffer and flounder and leave the industry now than ever. But if we just don't try and make a difference, that won't happen. They'll cling on somewhere. More of them will cling on if their business model is allowed to succeed. everyone moving home at the moment is paying much more attention to the quality of the estate agent that they choose than they do in normal market times, right? In normal and in booming market times, sellers are much less careful about who they choose. But in this falling market, sellers are hearing the horror stories about properties not being sold and chasing the market down for 6 months when you need to sell. And they're being much more careful. So how do we stop the bad ones? Because the bad agents must be stopped. What about the law? What about regulation? Well, the law can't and won't do it, because actually the thing that leads to most of the bad experiences happening is not breaking the law. It's just bad practice. And changing the law isn't going to change that, even if they did enforce it, which they don't. So we can't rely on the law and regulation to make any difference, okay? I mean, look how many years they've been talking about the regulation for property agents, or AROPA. Years they've been going on about that. Literally, 5 years now? And it's still nowhere near being made law. And even if it is, it's just going to be red tape. And in my opinion, it's not going to make any difference. So the law is not going to stop the bad agents. Okay, number 2, what about the industry associations? Well, surely, excuse me, Property Mark, or the Ethical Agent Network, or any other industry association that you might want to nominate. Maybe they can do it, right? Nope. I mean, arguably, Property Mark has had that mandate for a long time, and yet nothing has been achieved and no improvement has been made. Why is that? Well, Property Mark, in my opinion, is controlled by its corporate members and ignores the wishes of its independent members. And the corporate members, as policy, carry out more bad practice, not illegal practice, right? I'm not suggesting they're breaking the law, although some of them definitely are with conditional selling. Corporate agents are carrying out more bad practice by policy than small agents are. And so they don't want the changes that I'm talking about to happen, because it'd be bad for their business, right? So the industry associations have failed to make any improvements in the industry, and there's no sign that they're going to make any. So the law isn't going to fix it. Industry associations aren't going to fix it. And, let's just talk about industry award ceremonies and the like for a minute, and those sort of industry events. I've been going to those for years. They're enjoyable, and good people go to them. And it's nice to reward your staff for doing a good job and for winning awards. But the problem with all of the industry awards is that it ends up with the industry backslapping itself for utterly mediocre performance. Yes, there are a few who do very well and stand out and they get recognised by the industry, but by the public, those yearly award ceremonies, dishing out awards left, right and centre, haven't helped improve agency service at all. And in fact, I think they have the opposite effect of making agents think they're doing a good enough job when they're not. And I know myself from my experience as a judge on some of those, how utterly mediocre, in fact, crap agents have won awards. Agents who just shouldn't have won awards have won awards. Why? Because not very many agents entered. So the pickings were slim to give anyone a medal. I'm not saying that those award ceremonies shouldn't happen. It is good to get together as an industry, but the problem is that the tone and style of most of them just feels really out of date. I was at one, I won't say which one it was, but I was at one not long ago with some young agents, some young successful agents who just felt embarrassed to be there. I happened to be on the same table as them, and they were like, it was their first time, and they looked at me and go, is this what they're all like? Is this what it's always like? They're like, is this, do the organisers think this is okay? And there's this huge disconnect between what older people in the industry, the over 50s, I'm one of them by the way, but the over 50s in the industry think is okay, which is, yay, we've done it for years, so we know the way to do it. And the younger generations who are looking up and just going, no, that's just embarrassing how you guys do it. And I genuinely think that a major part of this ending of bad estate agency is going to be the younger, more switched on, more open-minded generation of agents, ambitious agents who are not tone deaf and colourblind as to what's happening in the world, actually go, no, step aside, old codgers. There's a new breed of agent here. We can do this better than you. Not least because younger people tend to embrace technology more. And the older generations in this industry have been shocking in the way they have failed to embrace even basic tech. That's another whole story. We won't go there. So industry associations have failed to improve it. The law can't stop bad agents. And let's just talk about the disruptors for a minute. Well, who's the biggest disruptor? Purple Bricks? Yeah, how did that go? I mean, what difference has that made to the industry? If anything, it's done nothing other than lower fees, which hasn't helped anyone, least of all the public. So all of the current attempts to improve the industry either are failing or have failed. And there's nothing else that I know of that's anything like on the scale that BestAgent is planning to achieve. So at the moment, BestAgent is the only offering of a genuinely alternative future that wants to distance itself from these poor, outdated practices that the industry has clung onto and continues to cling onto. So, yeah, there's just, there hasn't been any meaningful disruption, except for these endless things that come along thinking that cutting out the estate agent is the disruption the industry needs. Good agents know that's not the case. I know that's not the case. I've known it's not the case for a long time, which is why I am the most vocal public champion of estate agents, of what estate agents do, and therefore the importance of finding a good estate agent. And the message that I put out on my Moving Home with Charlie channel all the time, which is, don't think all estate agents are the same. Okay, so what are the three major enemies of improvement? The three biggest things that are done by the industry at the moment that are literally preventing any improvement whatsoever. Well, number one is the obvious one, and it's overvaluing to get business. Overvaluing to get business is it's just the sign of weakness in an estate agency. Now, I hesitate because I know good agents who are honest, hard-working agents who find themselves agreeing to uncomfortably high valuations in order to win business because the big market share boys who do overvaluing by deliberate policy make it so hard for smaller independent agents to win business without overvaluing. But I hope that if we can kill the corporate overvaluing by policy, that the honest agents will no longer need to be under the pressure to overvalue that they currently are. So the number one enemy of improving the industry as a whole is deliberate overvaluing. The second enemy of improvement is this massive amount of lead gen products. And I could talk about those for a whole hour, but all I will say right now is this. Lead gen products, which I include, by the way, Rightmove and Zoopla, all contribute to the success of mediocre and bad agents. Because if a bad agent can sign up to a great lead gen product and look good, then that bad agent will win business because they look good because of that product. That is not going to improve the industry. So this is not a criticism of the lead gen products themselves. I'm simply saying that the existence of those products is making the problem worse, and it is an enemy. Lead gen products that allow bad agents to hide behind glossy, sparkly things is an enemy of improvement. Okay? And they're a distraction and they're damaging to agents. And if any agent can buy them, then how does a good agent differentiate themselves? And the third enemy of improvement, which you all know, is mover ignorance or mover naivety. Okay? The fact that every single day there are brand new first-time sellers coming to the market who are just unwise about the process and don't understand the importance of what agents do and how difficult it is to get a deal over the line, even in a good market. And that ignorance is what leads to a lot of movers believing the fallacy that all agents are the same, and therefore they pick three at random, which means they almost always pick three of the bad ones. as in the bad, big overvaluers. Okay? So, just to recap, the 3 enemies of improvement are overvaluing, lead gen products, and mover ignorance. All 3 enemies of which I want to get rid of. So, after 20-something years of studying how to achieve this and how to improve the industry, how to end bad estate agency, and this is a big oversimplification, but the only way it can be done is with this 3-pronged approach, which BestAgent was designed around. The BestAgent platform, the BestAgent property site, BestAgent back office CRM system, the whole thing, okay? Number 1 is to unveil the tricks of the bad agents. And I'm doing that on my Moving Home with Charlie channel, and I will continue to raise public awareness. As at this point of recording, I get over 500,000 views a month on my videos across the platforms. And that's just going up. And with 500,000 views a month, I am reaching a significant proportion of the industry. A significant proportion of movers, I mean. So I really am beginning to make a difference in public perception of estate agents. Okay? And I will continue to bang the drum about what the bad agents do and how to spot the practice. I'm not going to be naming or shaming anyone. Probably, possibly. There are 1 or 2 massive exceptions that I think maybe need to be shamed, but I'm still contemplating that. But I'm going to unveil the tricks. I'm going to make the public wise to the typical tricks of bad and mediocre agents, and to help them spot you if you are a conscientious, ethically minded, honest agent who is going to make sure that your client's move gets done. So that's prong number 1. Unveil the tricks of the bad agents, which I'm doing through Moving Home with Charlie and all of my media appearances, which I'm getting more of. Number 2, make it pay to be better. Now I could do another whole hour on that one point alone, which I'm not going to do now. I'll do it in a separate video at some other point, right? But if it is more profitable to be an honest agent, then dishonest agents will stop their dishonesty. The ones who just aren't good enough to actually know how to get somebody moved in a difficult market will just disappear. But there is a large proportion of agents who are knowingly dishonest but wish they didn't have to be. And with what I'm planning to do, that will no longer be the case. You'll no longer need to be dishonest to win business. And for those agents who want to be better and want to stop lying and want to stop tricking people or bending the truth or whatever you want to call it, this is how I want to make it happen. I've got a strategy using BestAgent that will make it pay to be better. And I am promoting the fact, by the way, that an intelligent seller will pay higher fees to ensure a better chance of a better move, better price, and better service. So by making it pay to be better, which also means, by the way, making it a financial penalty if you're dishonest, and I've got plans built into BestAgent of how to make that happen. Ultimately, businesses will do what pays. Okay, so we'll make it pay to be better. We'll make it be a penalty to be worse. The third of the 3-pronged approach to the only way that ending bad estate agency can be done is this: remove the barriers to winning more business from good small agents who don't have a big marketing budget with which to compete with the bad agents who are just doing blunderbuss marketing with a big budget and piling it high and treating the customers as numbers and still managing to make enough money from the 1 in 3 properties they actually sell of the ones that they list. So at the moment, if you are a good small agent, you've still got no visibility. No matter how good your reviews are, you're just going to be drowned out by the noise of all the big noisy agents. And I really want to encourage, even if you are a 1-person operation and you're good and you're honest, I want to make sure that anyone looking to sell their home or let their home will encounter you, will know how to find you, or that you will be able to make yourself known to them. And that's the whole Find Your Agent function of BestAgent is designed to make sure that every agent gets a chance to introduce themselves to every prospective client at no cost, right? So that's the third of the 3 prongs. Number 1, unveil, pull back the curtain on the dirty tricks of the bad agents. Number 2, make it pay to be better and penalise agents that do it worse. And number 3, remove the barriers for small agents to make it easier for the public to find small agents, good small agents. Okay. Number 7 is that I'm going to be beginning a prolonged campaign of content, free content, for any agent that activates their BestAgent back office account, which is free to do. There's no obligation, there's no sign up, there's no subscription. You just have to activate, make sure your contact details are on there so that you're getting the viewing and client leads that you're supposed to get. For anyone who does that, I'll be providing ongoing free sharing of all of the best advice and techniques and strategies and operations and priorities of the agents that I've worked with over the last 20-something years that I've seen and I know work. In particular, what I'm called my Dovey system, D-O-V-I, which is an absolute winner of a system that's free for anyone to use. It doesn't require anything, doesn't require any money. It's just a technique which if any agent uses, it massively improves your business. And I'll be sharing that for every agent that activates their BestAgent back office account. I'll make sure there's a link below for you to do it, but just go to bestagent.co.uk and click on agents, and you'll be able to find out how to activate your back office account. Okay, but I'm going to be basically promoting these 3 facts again and again and again, or the 3 bits of advice to agents. Number 1, be choosy. Be really choosy. If you are an honest, upstanding, decent, professional, competent, experienced agent, you have immense value to give to your clients. And if your clients are flaky ones who aren't that committed to it, you are giving them your time and value for nothing. And it's a waste because you could be giving it to others that are better clients. So number 1, always be picky, even if you're not that busy. Even if you don't have as many clients as you like. Only take on clients that you know you can work with, that you know are committed to selling, that you know you have a really good chance of earning a fee from. It just doesn't make any sense to take on clients that you can't earn money from, that are just going to waste your time. Okay? And if you're like, well, I'm not sure, if you're not sure, I wouldn't take them on. Let other agents have them. Take on the clients. Just hand pick the clients that you know are committed to you and to selling with you. As much as possible. I know it's not always possible, but as much as possible. Number 2, focus on the Dovey system, D-O-V-I. I'll go into that another day. But D-O-V-I stands for deals, offers, viewings, instructions. And that's the order of priority of the way you should approach your day. I'll come back to that later. And number 3, which is arguably the most important one of all, is that you guys are working so hard and putting so much time into your businesses. You honest, upstanding, decent, ethical agents, professional, experienced agents. Your time is what you're giving, and it's so valuable. Now, if you invest that time more in your reputation, by which I mean making sure that the clients that you have registered get a level of service that they just didn't expect from you, and you make sure that you deliver them a result that they're going to be thrilled with, that exceeds their expectations. If you invest your time in doing that, more than in posting on social media to try and get noticed all the time by potential new time wasting clients, you will get a better return on investment of your time in the long run, because you'll have clients that rave about you. And ultimately, I will help you work towards a scenario where within 3 years, even if you're starting from scratch, within 3 years, more than half of your business will just walk in the door because they've been recommended to go to you and no one else. I have seen this happen. I know lots of agents for whom this happens, where more than half of their business picks up the phone or walks in the door and says, I've been told I've got to use you and no one else. And guess what? Those guys pay higher fees too. Okay? So the best investment of your time is to invest it in your reputation, because if you build a reputation that's the envy of other agents, you won't have to spend time flogging yourself to death on social media, which nobody enjoys doing. Believe me, I do it. I hate it. So that's point number 7. And point number 8, which I'm going to wrap up with, is how does BestAgent help achieve this? So number 1, BestAgent is going to bring a level of transparency to the housing market that's never existed before. It's going to shine the spotlight of transparency into the darkest corners of the industry and allow people to know the truth. In particular, the house price indices that are currently horribly manipulated. The BestAgent All Homes Index, or whatever it's going to end up being called, I don't know yet, is going to provide not only the public but also agents with unmolested, unmanipulated data that just shows what's actually happening in a way that makes it easier for both agents and movers to make decisions about their move. And so I want to use the data in BestAgent, which is national data. It's all the properties for sale to let. And the way, if you want to go and check it out, go to bestagent.news to see what we're doing with that. And that's a work in progress. It's already pretty cool, but it's got a long way to go. I'm planning to change, to undermine, to deconstruct the media disinformation that comes out of Rightmove and Zoopla and the land registry, which is just misleading, not intentionally, but it's just misleading, and Nationwide and Halifax, and just allow the public to make decisions based on more transparent data. So a bigger data set, more up-to-date data set. And ultimately with you guys, I want to end up with a unique house price index, which is going to be the index of what I'm going to call the offers index. So it's going to talk about the prices of offers versus asking prices, not at an individual agent level, but just nationally. And we've got enough agents contributing to that. That's going to be an immensely powerful piece of data that nobody else has, that we will be able to publish to the journalists and to the media in real time. We'll give them access to what's happening so that everyone knows what's happening in the coalface, because that's what everyone wants to know. Okay? So that's number 1, transparency, using the big data set that we've got. This is how BestAgent is going to help. Number 2, make sure that every agent gets an equal opportunity to talk to a potential customer, using the recorded video messages, which are already live and working. So whenever a potential client comes to the market in your area, if you're one of the 20 nearest agents, you'll have a chance to send that person a personal recorded video message, introducing yourself and explaining why you'd like to meet them and talk to them about their sale or let of their home. Okay? So an equal opportunity for every agent. And that's big and small. No one is left out of that, okay? Because what I know is that it's the best individual for a client that's the most important choice, wherever that individual works, even if they do work in a large corporate. Okay? Some of the best agents I know, in fact, a lot of the very best agents I know do work at large corporates and run offices at large corporates. So I am not anti-corporate per se. I'm anti-policies of many of the corporates, but many of them are very good too. And number 3, what BestAgent will do, and I can talk about this at length in another video or in person, and I want to get some in-person meetups with agents that want to support this, is it will eliminate unearned corporate advantage. Not just unearned corporate advantage, but unearned advantage of any agents who are just throwing money at misleading marketing to get leads. Okay? It will eliminate that, because on BestAgent, no agent will be able to purchase an advantage. They won't be able to buy a headline or buy a premium position or buy early access to leads. Okay? That's not going to be a possibility. Why? Because I own BestAgent and I set the policies, and that's the policy I'm putting in. Because allowing anyone to simply buy an advantageous position is what's led to movers having such a poor experience now and signing up to the wrong agents in droves. Okay, so that's the 8 things. So we're going to end bad estate agency because it's so important that this happens. This is just a quick recap, number 1. Number 2, for those agents who deserve it, there'll be fairer fees, a better reputation, and a better work-life balance. Number 3, the timing is ripe. The time is now. We have to strike while the iron's hot as the industry is going through this horrible situation of a very, very difficult market, but it's going to put a lot of bad agents out of business. So now is the time to seize this opportunity. Number 4, we must acknowledge that the bad agents won't be stopped by the law, they won't be stopped by industry associations, they won't be stopped by industry events, and they won't be stopped by disruptors. Okay? So there's no point in thinking that anything that's currently being tried is going to make any difference at all, because it just doesn't. Number 5, the 3 enemies of improving the industry are overvaluing, lead gen, and mover ignorance. Number 6, the only way it can be done is with a 3-pronged approach of unveiling the dirty tricks of the bad agents. Number 2, making it pay to be more honest, so making honesty pay and making dishonesty do the opposite. And number 3, remove the barriers to entry for good, small, honest agents. Number 7, I'm going to be providing free, ongoing wisdom, advice, training, seminars, whatever you want to call it, to any agent that wants it if you've activated your BestAgent back office account, including my Dovey system, which is just the best thing you will ever do in your business, whether you're large or small. And number 8, the way BestAgent's going to do this is by using the BestAgent house price index to change the media disinformation and put transparency on what's happening in the housing market. The big dishonest agents won't like that at all, because it will just bring truth and honesty and transparency, and they will no longer be able to talk it up. Number 2, every agent gets an equal opportunity. And number 3, we will eliminate unearned advantage by not allowing anyone to buy corporate advantage or to buy a better position in BestAgent where people are choosing their agent. If you have watched this all the way to the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I want your feedback. Please find me on LinkedIn, message me privately. There's a WhatsApp group of agents I have, which I'm inviting any honest agent who wants to be part of it to come be a part of it. Even if you want to challenge me, if you're cynical, skeptical about me and what BestAgent's doing, join anyway and find out. Please subscribe to the BestAgent YouTube channel or on the BestAgent Instagram channel. Wherever you can find me, just make sure you're following. But most importantly of all, make sure you've activated your BestAgent back office account, even if you're cynical about BestAgent, so that you see the leads, the viewing leads that are coming through and the valuation leads that are coming through. Because my goal is to make those leads the best quality leads. I'm not looking to send volume, I'm looking to send quality leads. I want agents to say, we may or may not get very many leads from BestAgent, but the ones that we do get are very good quality leads. That's what I'm aiming for. Thanks for watching. Best of luck. Remember that honesty pays, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.